Michelle, if you're there, I cannot find where to see the chat window now.
If you just scroll your mouse down to the bottom, Nigel, you should be able to see chat and attendees.
I can see the attendees, but I cannot see. Okay, found it now. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to ClassRebel. We'll start in just one moment. We'll give people a few more seconds to dial in.
True story. Chuck Lavelle was one of my clients, the pianist in the Rolling Stones.
So Tavana, you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, good morning or good afternoon, everybody, depending where you're dialing in from. Welcome to ClassRebel's first public course on cryptocurrency, the future of finance. We are very fortunate today to have a literally globally recognized expert here to share her knowledge with us, Tavana Evans. She is a data scientist and an entrepreneur, and she is actually the founder, lead engineer, and creator of her own cryptocurrency, Guapcoin. She's frequently sought after by the media. She appears in CNN, CNBC, Bloomberg, Adweek, the Boston Globe, and many other publications and networks for her opinions on cryptocurrency, where she is known by her legions of followers and fans as the crypto diva. I'll turn it over to her in just one moment. I should just say that the next hour will be an interactive class, and we encourage everyone to speak up and share your own experiences and ask questions. Feel free to raise your digital hand in Zoom and we'll call on you, or send us questions through the chat feature and we can read them out. Finally, I should just say that we are not promoting cryptocurrency. We are not promoting any specific cryptocurrency or any other kind of investment. We won't make any recommendations. We're just going to share with you knowledge, which we'll present in an unbiased manner so that you can make informed decisions for yourself. So with no further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our expert today, Tavana Evans.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to our class. So, well, you heard the little spiel about me, who I am, a little bit about how I got started in this. You know, and it's funny because I got started where a lot of you got started, and that is totally in the blank. One of my great friends came to me when in the early days of Bitcoin, and I mean early days, right? And he was like, "You need to take a look at this thing, right? I think this is up your alley. This is something that you need to be into." So he just threw me straight into a raw Bitcoin wallet, like the old school wallets that took like half a day to sync up and everything. So I'm sitting in front of this Bitcoin wallet like, what the heck is this? So just like most of you, when people came to you to introduce you to Bitcoin and you just didn't know what it was, I just kind of tucked it away. But had he have told me that this was a new kind of money, like this was like really a money, I probably would have paid more attention. It wasn't until later on, till I was into my first startup, that I started seeing, crypto popping up everywhere, people using blockchain to raise capital for their tech projects, that I got even more interested. So inevitably, I left behind that startup and I started Guapcoin. And Guapcoin was my whole entire introduction to the front end and back end of cryptocurrency. So the goal of this course is to help you trade and use crypto safely, right? Number one, you're going to be able to set up wallets and exchange accounts. Number two, you're going to learn about trading in crypto, just a little. Number three, you're going to learn about using crypto to buy and sell products and services, very important. Number four, participate in crypto safely, extra important. Number five, grow your business with crypto payments. Now, we only have an hour, so we're going to try to get in as much as possible, but we encourage you to sign up for our full course the week of June 13th. And that's when you're really going to learn the deep, deep, deep stuff when it comes to crypto. But we're going to make sure that you learn enough right here in this hour. This course is meant for anyone who wants to learn the foundations of cryptocurrency and blockchain, and anyone who wants to learn crypto tools and strategies. So we got a bunch of people here today, and we definitely want to know if anyone here has any experience with crypto. Have you bought crypto? Do you have a crypto wallet? Where are you with it?
So feel free to raise your
Feel
hand.
free to jump in.
Sir, does Serge have experience with crypto? Brooke says that Serge does.
Okay. So we got some semi-veterans here.
Serge has been buying NFT and DAO domains.
Okay.
Anthony Hale is a Guapcoin holder.
Hi.
A couple of people have their hands raised on the participant list. I'm going to let Tanya go first. So you should be able to talk now.
Are you there, Tanya?
Hi, Tanya. Tanaya.
Well, in the meantime, Jamara says she has a few wallets and she's bought into several coins, including Guapcoin.
Oh, okay.
Greg Frazier created a crypto coin.
Oh.
Vicky says she's been holding Guapcoin for 3 years. You must have some fans here today.
Nigel, are you able to see the participant list? There's a couple of people that have digital hands raised.
I'm sorry, Michelle, I'm actually not. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I can't see it.
Okay, Valerie, I'm going to allow, you should be able to talk now. You just need to unmute yourselves.
Okay, yes, happy to be here because I was scammed out of $6,000 last year. Yeah, with Bitcoin. So I'm here to learn how to do it safely.
Oh, okay. Well, that's our primary reason for doing this, because when you're new and you're getting into this is some of the most important things you need to know to empower you so that you don't give your power away to people who might take advantage of you in the crypto space. So cryptocurrency are changing the financial system, and they as an asset class present opportunities. When you turn on the news, you're now seeing institutions that are getting involved. You're seeing banks getting involved. You're seeing there's a lot of talk about Bitcoin ETFs and stuff like that. So this is where you're getting to understand that now Bitcoin is being accepted as an official asset class in investing. So, we'll talk about that. We'll get into some of the intricacies, but this is to let you know just how popular this is now and how mainstream this has gotten. With any type of investment and investing, the risk is correlated with the potential rewards, right? Can somebody tell me, like, kind of, here what type of investing that you have already gotten into? And we're going to get into comparing those things. Is everybody just like kind of newbie in investing all around? Is there anybody here that's gotten into some other types of investing, like stocks or stuff like that? Angel investing. We got angel investors. Okay.
I have Sam. Sam, if you just unmute yourself.
Hi, yeah, I've invested in a commercial real estate, both on the residential and the commercial business side.
Okay, so you're familiar in some kind of way with investments that are like high risk, high reward, or investments that have lower risks, because real estate is not really considered to be a high risk investment, but you're kind of familiar with those different levels in investing.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Savannah, a lot of people are ringing in through the chat here, everything from stocks and real estate to ETFs to property and real estate.
Wow. So we got a bunch of investors in here. That's super cool. And you'll find in the crypto space a cross between traditional investors and just crypto investors. The traditional investors are actually, I think, who really made this market. So what we see here is we're comparing high rewards, low rewards, high risk, low risk. These are some of the things that you'll hear when you get into investing. And if you see at the very tip top of high risk, you have crypto. Right below you have options, futures, angel investing. Someone mentioned angel investing, private equity, and collectibles, right? These are some of the high risk tolerance investments, right? And the further you go up, the better the reward, but the higher the risk. And that's definitely when you get when you get into crypto. It is definitely some high rewards. We're always hearing about how much someone made by investing in this crypto and that crypto. But we don't hear a lot about the risks, when you're getting into crypto. You'll hear certain you'll hear people that will warn you and tell you, hey, don't invest anything that you can't afford to invest. But you won't hear a lot about what people are losing in this space, because, there's so much excitement about the potential rewards of crypto. Crypto investments have paid off for investors who have held on. This is like so very, very, very true. Now, what you see here is a comparison, and it begins in 2017. And the reason why I think we began in 2017, because this was like this is when it really, the heyday began. I remember back in 2017 when Bitcoin was like $400, I believe, then, and by the time 2017 closed out, Bitcoin had shot up to $20,000 and everybody was super excited, right? So you can see, comparing to some of the other markets, where crypto is standing in terms of how it's paid off. And it's actually pretty up there compared to some of the other types of investments. But you must carefully manage your investment risks. That is extremely important, right? And I think that because this space, again, is so new, there's not a lot of information for the institutional, or for you normal folks out here that are trying to invest, how to do that, right? So because what you're used to doing in the investment arena is turning over your money to someone who manages this stuff. But this is some of the first time, getting into crypto, this exposes more people to have to actually handle their own investments and handle their investment risks, et cetera. This is like a new thing in the world of investing. So this is some of the ways that, we'll traditionally, not advise, we're not investment advisors, but this is some of the ways that we will guide you through this process. Number one, risk profile. You want to engage in a professional financial advisor to develop your risk profile and investment path. And I just mentioned that crypto is one of those spaces where a lot of people just kind of jump head in on their own, right? And it's very wise that you do link up with an investment advisor. Number two, diversified in portfolio. Crypto should make up a small percentage of your portfolio. Never invest more than you're prepared to lose. Absolutely. There are a lot of other more stable, yet maybe not as much risk or reward, but more stable things that you can put your portfolio into. This should be a part of it, but this should make up a small percentage. Number three, diversified crypto holdings. Diversify within your crypto holdings. There are thousands of alternatives and rebalance periodically. Absolutely. Again, this is one of those spaces that we jump around, and we usually fueled by all of the news and the media and the newest coin and the newest hype that we'll want to get into. And you can spread it out amongst different cryptos that are in the space. Number four, knowledge and discipline. Understand an asset before you invest in it. Follow market news and stick to your plan. This is very important because we find that people who actually research and who can identify with different cryptos or different projects, they'll fare better than those who get in and don't really understand. Because the people who get in and don't really understand, the first hint of something potentially moving in the wrong direction, what are they going to do? They're going to give up. They may sell their coins and they be like, oh, I made a loss, when they may have just been able to hold in for the long term and actually do better further down the line. 5 things to know that will put you 5 years ahead. So these are some of the things that, we're going to hit on. And like I said earlier, we're not going to be able to get in too deep because, again, we only have an hour together. And I do want to get a little bit of conversation with you as well. But these are some of the things that we're going to touch on. Number one, what cryptocurrency is and what it isn't. Number two, the 4 major classes of crypto coins. Number three, 3 basic types of crypto wallets. Number 4, 2 types of crypto exchanges. Number 5, crypto trading, what it actually looks like. One of my big points is the crypto wallet. So I'm kind of curious as to, some people mentioned that they have a wallet. I'm kind of curious as to what are some of your favorite wallets out here. You could share it with some other people.
Does anybody have any favorite wallets? Feel free to put your hand up or type it in the chat window. If anybody's trading or holding crypto right now, what wallets are you using? Personally, I'm using, I have 2. I have CoinMarketCap and I have Binance.
Okay.
Crystal has a Newton wallet.
Oh, okay.
A couple people are considering Ledger.
Yeah.
Meow. And
that's
MetaMask.
A hardware wallet, by the way. Okay.
MetaMask and Exodus.
Okay.
Trust Wallet, Gemini.
Okay.
One of my favorite things is all the fun names that are associated with crypto products.
Peter has his hand up, so I just unmuted. Peter, go ahead.
Hi, Peter.
He should be able to talk, but go ahead, sorry.
So, I think pretty much those are like a lot of people name some of the popular wallets. So
yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I coming through?
Yes.
Hi, Peter. Can you hear you?
Yes, good morning. Yeah, because I had started looking into crypto during the lockdown. And for some reason, I did not go ahead because when I found out that I'm not very good at keeping all these secret codes which you had to keep. But I had bought the BC Vault wallet, the Treasure wallet, as well as the Ledger.
Okay.
And I practically didn't do a single thing since 20.
Okay, that's fine.
So that's the reason why I came to this course, to find out.
That's fine. Well, you got some great wallets there. So now it's time to start the journey and filling them.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
So number 1, what cryptocurrency is and what it isn't. Cryptocurrency is fundamentally money, just in a new form. In simple terms, a currency is anything that is widely accepted as a payment for goods or services as a medium of exchange, is used to measure wealth or value as a unit of account. To be accepted as money, it must be easily transportable. You can't be lugging around a block of gold. That is not quite money. Interchangeable, trusted, and secure. These are the things that make money what it is. But there are some important differences. Mainstream fiat money and cryptocurrency. Those are the two topics. And a lot in the crypto space, you're going to hear the term fiat a lot, right? So we're going to learn right here what this fiat thing is and what that means. So you see two columns here. Under the fiat money column, you have centralized, intermediated, and value determined by economics. So you're going to hear the terms centralized and decentralized. On the side of money, fiat, you're going to hear centralized. And that means that the money supply is controlled by an authority, a government, a national bank, or reserve board. And on the crypto side, you're going to hear decentralized. It's not controlled by an authority. It's countless users are running software for free as a decentralized network. You're going to hear intermediated. Sent and received through banks. This is fiat money. Wire services, currency exchanges, which hold and handle the money and they charge fees. And a lot of times those fees are very high, right? Cryptocurrency, peer-to-peer, no middleman. You're going to connect and transact with people directly around the world, often anonymously, right? And then on one side, you're going to see what constitutes the value of fiat money. Well, the value is determined by economics. Complex factors determine their value, right? But on the cryptocurrency side, value is determined by demand. They have value because users want to hold them. Users want it, they got to get it. There's a limited supply on certain cryptos. That means that the more people that go get it and it's limited, then of course the value is going to go up on those cryptocurrencies, right? So you have two distinct separations between fiat money, and that's that paper money, whatever money you use, whether it's the USD, whether it's Canadian, whether it's peso, whatever, that's fiat money, right? But crypto money, this is that decentralized money, this is that peer-to-peer money, this is that money that you hold, that is issued, that is created by whatever process this blockchain has, right? And it's peer-to-peer. So these are really important terms that you're going to hear thrown around in the crypto world.
Hey, Tavana, a question just came in from Laura, and this might be something that you'd get into in the full course, but I thought I'd mention it. She asks, what is the difference between decentralized and DeFi, or decentralized finance?
Well, there's not really a difference because decentralized is a part of the word decentralized finance, right? So decentralized means that there's no middleman. And in decentralized finance, these are services that are not provided by a middleman, right? These are services that are created, these are blockchain-based services. So whereas you may have services like loans, traditional loans that you go in a bank to get, a DeFi loan is going to be nothing but a piece of software that issues that kind of mediates that loan between you and another user. So a peer somewhere, they could be anonymous, but they're directly lending money to you. They're not going through a bank, they're just going through software. So that's some of the intricacies of DeFi. And again, we're going to get really deeper into that in the full course because it's a huge topic, but you know, just to kind of break it down, it's decentralized finance.
Awesome. All right, thanks. Let's move on.
Cryptocurrency is becoming more accepted, used, and supported. This is such a great thing, right? Because we spoke earlier and we said this is a new kind of money. And this is the most important thing to a new kind of money. It needs to be used, it needs to be accepted, and it needs to be supported. Number one, purchases, right? Purchase goods and services, more retailers, service providers are adding it as a payment method. Pay merchants in dollars through crypto.com. This is one of the things that you can do. Use crypto to buy gift cards and dollars through crypto.com and eGifter. So you can use crypto to make purchases. Remember, we said that this is money. That is a key fundamental thing that money needs to be able to do. Number two, bill payments, pay your bills. You know, you can turn on the news nowadays and there will be a new news story and say, hey, you can pay your taxes in this state using Bitcoin. And that's actually true. In many states now, you can pay your taxes using Bitcoin. Utilities and other bills may be paid with crypto debit cards, right? So places that don't accept crypto directly, they're accepting crypto debit cards. Crypto bill payment platforms such as Coinsfer and Biddy convert Bitcoin to dollars for online payments. Some utility providers accept crypto in their own payment platforms. And number three, banking. Crypto-based credit and debit cards through BitPay, right? Dollar-based credit cards with percent rewards in crypto from MasterCard and Visa. Brick and mortar bank branches working in crypto by Bitcoin Bank. So there are actually crypto banks now, by the way. So again, crypto is becoming more widely used. Has anybody here seen any of these services? Have you experienced paying your bill with Bitcoin or crypto?
If
Anybody
anyone has experience, put your hand up and we can unmute you. Or if you're more comfortable writing in chat, we can pick it up that way too. Has anybody had any experience paying bills with crypto, buying goods and services with crypto?
See, Ashton says they have a crypto.com card.
Yeah, Ashton has that card. Alexis also uses crypto.com. Believe it or not, Tavana, I was speaking with a lawyer friend of mine the other day, and he said that his firm, it's a major firm, now lets you pay your legal bills through Bitcoin.
That's awesome. You know, one of the great things about this is that literally your Bitcoin or your crypto is transportable. You can pick up and go to another country, you know what I mean? And just pay your bills there if they're accepting Bitcoin as well. So this is making payments more universal.
And Tavana, a good question just came up in chat here. You're based in the United States, of course. Anne is asking, is it possible to pay these kind of bills in other countries, Canada, the UK, other places?
Absolutely. There are places that are popping up left and right. You know, not everybody is accepting it yet, but because a lot of people are, more people are coming on board. So you can definitely go to Europe somewhere and you can see that a lot of places accept crypto there, accept Bitcoin. Recently, we've been we've been watching the situation that's going on in Ukraine, and they've been talking a lot about Bitcoin and crypto. So I'm sure now a lot of their stores are accepting it because it's just more convenient for the people to be able to use nowadays. So people are jumping on board all across the world.
Thanks, Tavana. And Kimberly says she's using Guapcoin to buy books, games, and household products as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. It's really awesome when you can use crypto to buy things that are just like your normal average things that you use every day. So that brings it closer and closer to becoming the money that you're used to using. Cryptocurrency runs on a technology called blockchain. You will hear so much about blockchain. I remember in the early days of crypto, everybody was running around, what is this blockchain thing? What is this blockchain? You know, it was so mysterious and had so much mystique to everybody, but it is the underlying technology that runs crypto, right? And it has something called blocks. And blocks are digital transaction records that are public, time-stamped, digitally signed by the sender and receiver, right? These are like pages on a ledger. And the chain is a collection of these blocks. Blocks of records that are connected in the chain are a permanent public record, verified by users in the network, stored by everyone in the network, and virtually impossible to alter. Right? So these blocks are on every computer that is connected to this blockchain. A copy of these transactions and these ledgers, they're replicated everywhere, almost like a virus. You know, they get into, you know, the virus gets into cells and then just spreads, and then it's just hard to kind of get, well, that's the blockchain. The blockchain is everywhere like that. One of the stories I like to tell about it is because, of course, I'm old, and I realize that this is old. I used to think that this was like cool now, but I'll bring up Napster and I'll talk about how we use peer-to-peer file sharing, and we shared files and there was no middleman between there. There was no server that was giving us the software. There was actually people who were on the network that we were getting these files from back and forth. Well, that started this whole peer-to-peer movement. And now what we have right now is peer-to-peer money. Very, very similar to that.
But a good virus, right, Tawana? Not the bad kind.
No, not a bad virus. It's a good virus. Number 2, the 4 major classes of crypto coin. There are more than 14,000 cryptocurrencies. Honestly, I think there are more than that, like way more, categorized by their intended use cases.
Has anybody heard of any different kinds of crypto coins? There's a lot of different terms that are thrown around, but has anyone heard of any of the types of coins?
Yeah, not a coin, a type of coin. And I'm going to give you a hint. There's a coin that there's a type of coin that everybody's talking about right now.
Laura says,
Yeah, I see somebody, David.
And POS.
David, yeah, Brooke has it.
David, a few people now are saying stable coins. I've heard about that a lot lately.
Yeah, that's a type of coin, stable coin. Yeah. ERC 1155. Yeah, that's a type. That's getting a little technical there. You know, we got people who are beyond newbies here. So these are the types that we're going to focus right here and now, because these are super important. Number 1, we have payment coins, right? Digital money. Some can be used anywhere and some can only be used for specific use cases. And you got Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Monero, Dogecoins. These are some examples of payment coins. And then you have infrastructure, right? Coins, right? Create decentralized apps or dApps on blockchain networks. So you have Ethereum, Algorand, Cardano, Polkadot. These are infrastructures, right? I like to call them like operating systems of crypto, right? And then you have 3, financial. Manage or exchange other crypto assets. Trade on exchanges, crowdfunding, lending and borrowing. Someone mentioned DeFi, right? This is kind of where you would find DeFi. Kyber Network, Compound, Gnosis, Curve. These are some of the popular DeFi platforms that are out there, financial platforms. And number 4, service. Access and vet external data sources for blockchain-based financial products like Chainlink, Filecoin, storage, SIA. And this might be a little bit complicated, but I can explain it super quick. Chainlink is an example of what's called an oracle, right? You have all of these different platforms out there. So who officially broadcasts the price? You know, if you got a price on one platform, how does it get to another platform? Well, that's what an oracle does. That's what Chainlink does. Chainlink is this decentralized authority. It's an oracle that broadcasts prices out to other platforms so that they could be on the same page.
Tawana, we've got a question come in about stable coins, which we mentioned a moment ago, and also meme coins. Someone has mentioned meme coins. Do those fit in these 4 categories?
Yeah, stable coins and meme coins both fit under payment coins. You very rarely will find a meme coin that actually does anything other than, you know, being under a payment coin, although they say some coins can do other or perform other financial functions. You can use them on some of these financial platforms, but stable coins are definitely payment coins. Stable coins are pegged usually to another asset like the dollar or gold or something like that. So they're used they can be used to actually make payments. And again, we are definitely going to delve into that at another time. But that's a little bit of about stable coins here. I think you'll get.
And this might be a similar question. Laura is asking about Luna. Does Luna fit in here somewhere?
Yeah, Luna has actually, there are two coins that have been associated with that. There was the stable coin, and then there was the actual, like, I guess you could say just regular coin. It's so funny. I pulled up my Coinbase wallet today and I saw wrapped Luna as well. So Luna is quite popular. But the reason that it was, you know, people are talking about it because it's been in the news as of lately.
Yeah. And another thing that we'd love to cover a little later, Tavana, is can you actually trade in all of these? Because there are so many, but I guess we'll get to that in the exchange section.
Right, absolutely. The three basic types of crypto wallets. This is the fun part. A crypto wallet is a tool to send, receive, and store crypto coins within the network. I always tell people come to me and they ask, what is the first thing I need to do? What is step one? And step one is usually get a wallet, right? It reminds me of a story my grandmother used to tell me. She was like, you want to get money, you got to have a wallet, right? You gotta have a wallet to fill it up. So we will have our wallets. It may start out empty, but it's going to encourage you to fill it up. So you have to start out with the wallet.
And we asked earlier for examples of the different kinds of wallets. I think most of what was mentioned was software wallets.
Right. They mentioned a few hardware wallets as well.
And hardware. And there's a third kind. Does anybody know there's software wallets, hardware wallets, and there's a third kind? Does anyone know what that third kind is?
Oh, I'm really interested to see if someone knows this.
We could give a prize to anyone who can say the third kind.
Yeah.
There's hardware. Does anyone know the third kind? Somebody's mentioned cold wallets. Tavana, do you want to talk about the difference between hot and cold?
Yeah, absolutely. A hot wallet is a wallet that's going to be directly connected to the internet, right? That's going to be something that you're going to be that's the wallet that you're going to use to trade with or whatever. The cold wallet is usually going to be offline storage. This is not going to be connected to the internet. This is something that you're going to use to maybe save your coins somewhere where no one can get to them because it's not connected to a live connection. It's not connected to the internet. So that's the difference between a cold wallet and a hot wallet.
So are you saying that a software wallet or a hardware wallet could be either hot or cold?
Well, no. Well, a software wallet is typically going to be a hot wallet because that's going to be your wallet that's connected that you're going to be able to send and receive across the internet. But your hardware wallet is going to have software that runs it. Yes, it's going to have your actual copy of a key, etc. But this is a wallet that once you pull it offline, then it becomes cold and it cannot send to another person, or you can't do any transactions with it, or no one can get access to it.
And I think Divan gets a prize because Divan identified, I hope I pronounced your name properly. Sorry if I didn't. Divan identified paper wallets.
Yay. And paper wallets are so cool. And I personally don't think that they're outdated. I think that, hey, if you can't get a pay $100 or so and get a hardware wallet, you can print off a paper wallet and put it in your safe, you know? So this is the simplest type of wallet. Keys are printed on the paper. It's good for learning, but no longer in wide use, right? And number two, software. Most convenient and suitable for day-to-day transactions. So we spoke about that because your software wallet is really where you're going to be sending and receiving transactions live across the internet. This is the most common type of wallet. And within the software wallets, you have two types of wallets. You have your hosted or your custodial wallets, and then you have your non-custodial wallets. And lots of crypto purists, we like non-custodial wallets. Why? Because usually this gives us access to our keys, right? And typically we don't have, when you got a non-custodial wallet, you don't have to get permission to withdraw, your coins and stuff like that. You can do whatever you want to. You're really the bank. But when it comes to hosted and custodial wallets, they function mainly like a bank, a real bank. So you may have to do things like prove who you are. You may have limits, in terms of who you can send and how much you can send and how much you can receive or how much you can withdraw. You have rules. These are heavily regulated wallets. So number three, you have hardware, the most secure type of wallet, right? Safest place to store your keys. So a lot of you mentioned these hardware wallets, and I know like there's a lot of you out there that are sticklers for security. And you're like, hey, we want to make sure our funds are secure. So I want to get me something that I know that if I take and I put this somewhere, no one can get to, right? So a lot of us will go out and we'll get these hardware wallets, and you know, they'll kind of sit there because they can be a little bit advanced.
And where do Gucci wallets fall in this, Tamana? I'm just kidding you.
Hardware. So the two types of crypto exchanges. Crypto coins are traded on exchanges similar to stock trading. You know, this is the part where things get a little bit iffy for people. They get a little bit complicated, and that's exchanges. There are so many of them now, and they vary in complexity.
And there are two broad kinds of exchanges, right, Tavana?
Absolutely.
Can anybody tell us what those two main kinds of exchanges are? It's two very broad categories. Does anybody know? There's two major kinds. O'Neill has got it. Decentralized and centralized.
Yeah, remember what I said earlier. These are two terms that you're going to hear a lot. You know, so these are probably two of the most important terms you should commit to memory: centralized and decentralized, right? Centralized exchanges are exchanges like Coinbase, right? So you got, again, it's very, very close to wallets as well when we talk about centralized and decentralized wallets. Coinbase effectively is a bank nowadays, right? You have to go through the steps to prove who you are. You know, it's not, centralized exchanges are not anonymous, typically not anonymous at all, right? They want you to prove who you are. They're going to tie your transactions and everything to you. You know, there's a record of you and your transactions and everything you do, just like a bank, you know, but one of the benefits of those is they typically provide you with some type of insurance, right? And then again, there's somebody you can call when something goes wrong. So then you have decentralized exchanges, and these are effectively known as DEXs, right? You have Binance DEX, you have Pancake Swap, you got Sushi Swap, you got Uniswap, you got all of these DEXs out there right now. And these are decentralized. These are largely pseudo-anonymous, right? So the only thing that's going through this DEX is your wallet address. It doesn't know who you are. You don't know who the other person is on the other side when you're trading. These can be very convenient because you don't have to go through the processes of proving who you are to be able to trade on these exchanges. However, they can also be very expensive sometimes because the cost of these exchanges is going to vary from minute to minute and exchange to exchange, you know, various things like that. You know, and the centralized exchanges, they hold your funds, right? So a key thing with a centralized exchange is that you're going to have to deposit your money there, right? And then when you want your money back, guess what? You're going to have to get permission. You're going to have to withdraw. They have high volume, high liquidity. And that's a benefit to these exchanges. You're not going to go on Coinbase and it's not going to deny you a trade because there's no liquidity. You're not going to run into that problem. The exchange signs the trades on your behalf, right? They typically very user-friendly and have helpful trading tools. Now, although trading interfaces sometimes can be a little intimidating, they usually have a general trading interface where you could just, you know, buy crypto directly, et cetera. They try to make it as easy as possible for regular users. The fees are lower typically, right? And then there's some counterparty risk, but you know, if you run into a situation where the exchange gets hacked or a transaction failed, which is very, very rare, right? Then you may run into those types of risks, but the risks are typically low. And I'm pretty sure places like Coinbase, you know, they are very, very insured if any of these things happen. On a decentralized exchange, however, when they're hacked, you know, that project or sometimes even the blockchain, because a lot of these run on Binance chain. And if there's a project that's hacked, sometimes Binance Chain will step forward and say, hey, we'll try to help out with this. We'll try to fix this situation, right? They allow you to hold your own funds on your wallet. So when you go to a DEX, you're going to connect one of your wallets to their DEX. So you're still holding your funds, you're still holding your keys, right? It's going to be harder to find a counterparty. Trading can be slower and rates can be unfavorable, right? Because again, there has to be someone on the other end that is looking for whatever asset that you're trying to trade. Trades are peer-to-peer and they run through the blockchain, which is cool. Again, that's what we like about decentralization, the peer-to-peer aspect. Higher fees, you got to pay to play. So yes, I spoke about that earlier. The fees are going to be higher. Lower risk since funds are not held on the exchange. And that's a beautiful thing because the funds are still in your wallet. So yes, the risk is a little bit low. If the exchange is hacked overall, the funds are in your wallet and they're safe, right? However, you know, again, there's been some situations where there has been some hacks and there's money that's held in liquidity and stuff like that, more advanced things that DEXs offer where people lose money.
Thanks, Tivana. We've had a couple questions come in specifically on this topic here. Somebody's mentioned that they use Binance, but it asks them for personal information and asks them to take a selfie, like a picture of their face, all these know your customer rules. Does that mean that Binance is a centralized exchange, but on
Yes.
the slide we have it as decentralized?
Well, there's Binance, the regular exchange, I think you're referring to. And then if you see anything that says DEX, that's going to be decentralized. So usually it's not going to require you to go through all of those, but you're correct. Anything that asks you for your identifying information is centralized.
And one other question, somebody's mentioned MetaMask. Is that a centralized or decentralized?
That is a decentralized wallet. All it is a piece of software that interacts with the blockchain. No one does anything with that. So if you lose your funds through MetaMask, you're kind of on your own. You're responsible for backing up your keys or using, you know, backing up your mnemonic code. You're responsible for handling your wallet. And a lot of people are not quite aware of that, you know, MetaMask, because they use MetaMask to actually log in to websites, you know, so they'll think that, hey, this must be, you know, this must be safe. So I encourage you to read up on MetaMask and understand that a lot of situations that have occurred on the internet and people's funds have occurred through MetaMask, even in the past. So you have to definitely be very, very careful when you're using MetaMask, because that's one of those wallets that are typically, those are hot wallets, you know, so they're going to be connected to something directly and exchanging information with that counterparty.
We've got a lot of questions coming in, which is awesome. Just want to remind people you can send it in chat or you can put up your hand and actually speak. And Laura Diaz, I'm looking at you. You've asked some really good questions. I hope you don't mind, but I'd like to unmute you so you can ask your latest question to Tivana yourself. I hope that's okay. Are you there, Laura?
No worries. Yeah, so if funds are not held on decentralized exchanges, then where are they?
They're in your wallet.
In my wallet.
They're in whatever wallet. You cannot interact with the DEX without a wallet. So if you landed on PancakeSwap and you tried to hit trade, it wouldn't do anything because you have to connect your wallet.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So think about it like this. Think about you're going in a store, right? And you're getting ready to make a purchase. You pick up an item and you want to buy that item, right? So you can't get that item until you go in your wallet and you pull out the money and pay for the wallet, you know, and pay for the item. And the difference with a centralized exchange is that that's like going somewhere and they actually have a line of credit for you in that store, you know? So you go in that store and you're like, hey, can you go, I want to use my credit to pay for this that's sitting in your overall account or something like that. So you don't really hold your funds, you don't really own it until it's actually in your wallet.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll take one more on this topic before we move on. Brooke Efron, I hope you don't mind me, but I'm unmuting you as well. Do you want to just ask your question directly?
Sure. I've heard a lot about mining and I think it's gas pricing or whatever. What does that all mean?
So we're going to get deeper into that in the, in the deeper crypto class, but to give you a little bit of piece of that, these platforms have fees. So if you were going to Western Union and you were going to send money to someone across seas, there would be a fee to do that. And these platforms have fees to send money back and forth as well. And they're typically known, like on the Ethereum platform or any type of platform that is like Ethereum, they're known as gas fees.
And we will get into a lot more detail on that in our full course. This can be a pretty deep topic. Let's cover the last piece here, Tavana, and then I'm also gathering other questions people are sending in, so we'll have a bit more Q&A at the end. But should we get into number 5?
Yeah, what crypto trading actually looks like, right? Getting started is easy. Once you have a wallet, you can purchase your first coin, then trade it for others. Nowadays, getting that first coin and starting your whole crypto trading process is really, really simple. Number 1, purchase crypto with a bank or credit card. There are a few cryptos that you can purchase directly, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. And there are even platforms that you use every day, like Stripe or, or again, crypto.com or whatever the case may be, that'll allow you to buy your crypto directly with your bank or your credit card, right? So number 2, you're going to receive your crypto. So let's say it's Bitcoin. Now you have your Bitcoin. Now you're ready to go out in the ecosystem and buy any coin that's out there. Every coin that's out there, you can at least get with Bitcoin. Number 3, you're going to trade your first coin for others, right? So consider Bitcoin to be that bridge, that easy bridge to get into the world of crypto, to get all of those other coins you heard about that you want to get. A lot of times these coins, some coins may be new, some coins may not be as big, they may not have been around long enough, and you can't directly get it without having a crypto to get it. And typically that bridge crypto is Bitcoin.
All right, what we'd like to do is show you what some of this actually looks like in real time. I see a lot more questions coming in. That's awesome, and we will get to them. We might even go a few minutes over time to allow for more Q&A, if that's okay with people. But I'm just going to switch over to the demo. You want to walk us through this, Tavana?
Absolutely. So what we're looking at is Binance. This is an example of a centralized exchange. This is the centralized part of Binance. This is Binance USA, right? When you first go to Binance, it might ask you what country you're in. Binance USA follows USA regulations, right? So one of the page that we're looking at right now is the different markets. This is going to let you know what markets that you can trade on, right? Which coins are trading against one another. So we're going to click on, and as a matter of fact, before we do any of this, there's a link at the top right and it says wallet. And this is very, very, very important. A lot of people, they'll land on any exchange and they'll land directly in the market, and then they'll click buy, and then they'll think that, hey, what's going on? I can't get anything because they haven't funded their wallet, right? So remember we said that centralized exchanges, they hold your funds. So they actually create a wallet on the exchange specifically for you to be able to trade. And then usually that's going to be a link that says wallet. I've been on many exchanges and it's been the same link, wallet. And that is where you're going to fund your exchange account so that you can trade, right? So we'll click on wallet. Let's click on wallet really quick. Let's click on funding wallet. Now, funding your wallet is usually pretty easy. They don't want to make this part really hard. They want you to be able to fund your wallet so that you can trade on their exchange, right? And typically you're going to send funds to it that that you're going to use to trade. And of course, the easiest one we just spoke about on the other slide is going to be Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be the most widely available. It's going to have the most pairs. Literally, it's going to have a pair to every crypto. You can trade for almost every crypto using Bitcoin. So you're going to send your Bitcoin to the exchange. And typically you're going to do that by clicking on a deposit link. I'm telling you, like, I've been on many different exchanges and almost all of them look the same when it comes to this process, right? So when you pull up the deposit to crypto, it's going to ask you what coin you want to deposit, right? And we want to deposit Bitcoin. Let's click on Bitcoin. Click on network and just click on Bitcoin because we just want to send regular Bitcoin, right? So it's going to give you an address. And this is key if you already have your own wallet. So if you got someone mentioned a Trust wallet, if you got a BitPay wallet, if you got a Coinbase wallet or whatever, then and you want to send the funds to your exchange so you can trade, you're going to click that little copy link right there, and you're going to copy that address, and you're going to send Bitcoin to that address. Now, that's all you will be able to send to that address is Bitcoin. There are other coins up here that you may want to deposit that you're going to have to be careful in terms of what you're sending to that address, right? Because you have certain coins that exist on different blockchains, right? And they're called the same thing. So in certain instances, depending on what exchange you're going to go to, you're just going to want to be careful that you're sending your coins to the right kind of chain. And in this instance, this is definitely Bitcoin because we selected Bitcoin. So you would send your Bitcoin here, and that will enable you to start trading on the exchange pretty much right away. Usually doesn't take very long for your account to get funded.
And if we don't already have Bitcoin, we can buy it, right?
Yeah, you can buy it. So they also have the ability to be able to purchase it with your debit card and your credit card. So my suggestion, if you're a newbie and you're wanting to get other coins, at least start with Bitcoin because that's going to get you into every other coin. Sometimes we can buy some coins and get stuck. We can't do anything with them, you know, so you don't want to put yourself in that situation. So at least start there, and then you can take that Bitcoin and buy any other coin that you want to buy.
And then once we're trading Bitcoin, should we give them a preview of what this looks like?
Yeah, let's go to the markets. So let's click on the Bitcoin market. If you don't use the buy interface, you're going to be taken to the advanced interface, right? And I know for newbies, this often can look very intimidating, you know, but if you're just going to do what you're going to do, it's not that intimidating. We'll kind of break it down, right? One of the beautiful things about these types of interfaces is that you can set them to do different things. You may want to buy crypto when it reaches a certain price, you know, so you may want to set it so that, you know, you buy that it executes a buy when the price of Bitcoin drops below a certain price. So that's what these interfaces are for, to allow you to be able to do those things. However, and on the left, you got some rows of red and you got some rows of green, right? So pretty much what you have is you have the people who are selling, and then you have the people who are buying, right? So if you're going to be the one that's actually buying, you're going to be concerned with the green, right? So you can click, what you want to do, of course, is click the lowest price that you have there so that you can get it for the lowest price, but you may not be able to get the amount you want. So let's say you wanted to buy an extraordinary amount of Bitcoin. It may not be available at that low price. It's going to bump up the price a little bit. And that's what we talk about when we mention slippage. You know what I mean? So somebody comes here and they may see that low price and they think that, well, I can buy as many Bitcoin or pieces of Bitcoin. Because remember, that's another thing that newbies fail to realize is that you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. And here, you're definitely not buying a whole Bitcoin. This is going to allow you to be able to buy those increments in a very manageable way, right? So you're going to click the lowest price and you're going to put the amount of Bitcoin that you want to get, how much Bitcoin. And a lot of things will allow you to get the max. So if you've deposited Bitcoin here, now we're actually in another market. We're in the BUSD market. So what we're doing here is we're buying Bitcoin using BUSD. BUSD is a stable coin. So we might have sent some BUSD to our wallet, and now we can use that to buy Bitcoin, right? And we can only buy the amount that is going to fit in the amount that's in our wallet. If we don't have enough to buy more than what's in our wallet, it's not going to let us execute this trade, right? So
Tavana, this is awesome, and I just want to remind everybody this can be a very deep topic, and we'll get into a lot more detail during the full course. But we got a couple minutes. We'd like to take a few more questions from the audience, and we can stay a few minutes late. So if you want to stay on and get the full Q&A, please stay with us. A couple of people have been asking, how are crypto coins actually valued, given that there's no central authority, no government, no central bank?
Well, I think the best way to explain this is in gamer terminology. How many of y'all play games? Does anyone play any games out there? Because nowadays you can't play a game for free. You have games that have in-game currency. And I'm actually going to mention one game because I think this was a really good example and a lesson in this. About 16 years ago, a game came out called Second Life, which is my brother's favorite game, right? And in order to participate in Second Life, you had to use their in-game currency, which was called the Linden dollar, right? Eventually, the Linden dollar became so valuable. Why? Because the game was popular and people wanted to play and they wanted to get the things that was in the game, and you could only buy it with that currency, right? So we're talking about a situation of supply and demand. And most of these cryptocurrencies that are out there, they have a set supply. They have a max supply. And Bitcoin's max supply is 21 million coins. So it's never going to be any more than 21 million coins made in Bitcoin, right? And they're getting darn close to it. So that means that if the whole entire world gets involved in crypto, because right now the whole entire world isn't involved in crypto, that is going to increase the demand for that coin. And there is not a lot of them. So that means that the price is going to go up. So a simple demand, it doesn't have anything to do with what's quote unquote backing or not backing an asset. It's what people want. And that's what's highlighted in crypto. And I think that that's the foundation of money that we just never really understood. We never really understood that money is also driven by what people want and what people put their faith in.
Thanks, Tavana. Gretchen Lambert, you asked a good question here. I'm going to unmute you. Do you want to ask your question?
Yes, hi, thanks for all this information. I was just wondering, so what happens when you decide you want to liquidate and get all this money back in a different currency? Is it an easy process? How does that work?
Well, the same way you got it is typically the same way you liquidate it. You're going to have to take it to an exchange, right? And likely you're going to take it to the exchange you got it from to actually turn it into a currency that is more liquid. So you may want to turn it back to Bitcoin or turn it to a stable coin, which is essentially mapping it dollar for dollar to the dollar. So you have examples of stable coin like USDT, Tether, et cetera, which you're going to change over that crypto to that stable coin, and that stable coin will more efficiently change over to whatever reserve currency that you're trying to change it over. So that's what you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to trade it to get it back into that currency. Now, there are wallets that allow you to do that, like I mentioned the Cash App, that literally you can buy crypto in there and turn it right back to the money you paid for it. Well, whatever it's worth at the moment, right there in your wallet. So there are wallets that allow you to do it in a wallet as well.
And Jackie Zahner, I hope I said that right, has a question that I think is on everyone's mind. Jackie, why don't you take over here?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, hi, thanks for this great course. Yeah, obviously just curious about the current state of the market. Huge sell-off. It's not that you're offering investment opinions, but this is a huge consolidation. We're seeing massive blow-ups as in sort of Terra Luna and NFT values, and it feels like a lot of this sector is built on pump and dump kind of Ponzi schemes, honestly. So how to sort of think about this correction, put it in context for those of us who see a long-term opportunity, but also, you know, this is a really scary time to filter between what's real and what's not.
Yeah, I mean, you made a great point. This is a time to filter between what's real and what's not. These corrections often do that. These corrections in the market often take away all of the glitz and the glamour and the hype and whatever. And it even silences those people who push the glitz and the glamour, because you'll go on Twitter and you won't hear anything when the market looks like this from the average people who are pushing it, you know, the way that they're pushing it. So this is actually a great time if you're a very conservative person and you're a conservative investor, because now you'll be able to get the real deal and the real information behind projects. And you'll actually be able to see, you know, a more realistic value to these coins and assets as well. I think I get excited during times like these, actually.
And I think we have time for just one more. Laura Diaz, I'm not sure if she's still, Laura, you unmute yourself if you're still here. She may have dropped off, but she's asking, what if you're trading, if you're investing, if you're using an exchange, what guarantee do you have that your money is safe, that the exchange won't fold or get hacked or just take your money?
Well, that's why you got to assess what exchange you're dealing with. There are heavily regulated exchanges like Coinbase and Gemini. These are exchanges that are very, very regulated here, you know, so they're essentially banks. You can't have a bank just close their door tomorrow. And you won't be able to have that with these exchanges that are very regulated as well. You know, they're responsible for the funds because they don't even give you your keys. So they're doubly responsible for your funds. So they're acting as the insurer. They're acting as everything that is going to secure your funds and make sure that they're going to be available. Now, if you decide to take a risk and go into the Wild Wild West and go into these anonymous DEXs and go into a sketchy exchange that's not regulated in the United States. And a lot of times if you're in the United States, you won't even be able to access an exchange that's not regulated here. You'll land on the page and they'll deny you. They'll tell you you cannot trade here, right? But sometimes you can get through to other exchanges and you would be taking a big risk. Now, in terms of the DEXs, there are DEXs that are well known as well. They may not be heavily regulated, but they're well known and well established. They've been around for a while. So you don't want to get on the DEX that just popped up yesterday. You know, you probably want to go to a DEX that has a reputation and has been around at least a couple of years.
Thank you so much, Devonna. Well, we've gone a little over time to allow for some more questions.
Yeah.
There are other questions coming in, but some of them are getting more technical. So I would just remind everybody that this is only a brief introduction. On the week of June 13th to 16th, we'll be offering the full version of this course. It's a full 8 hours of content, very deep, very detailed, really practical. We'll be going over expert recommendations for tools and platforms and tips. So it's going to be a wealth of information. If you're at all interested in the topic, please join us. We'd love to see you there. Check us out at classrebel.com and reserve your spot. Thank you very much, Devonna. This has been amazing. And on behalf of our team, it's been a real pleasure working with you so far, getting to know you and learning from you. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. I really enjoyed it. This is my favorite topic.
And thank you to everybody who stayed with us till the end. We appreciate you as well. And we hope to see you in June. Take care, everyone.